but somebody else did it, and he reads the results, and he gives other possibilities, contributing factor to their death.
I just thought of something. If it's in New Orleans, most all of their cemeteries are above ground.
But not in somebody's front yard.
That's true
because
too.
of the
That's the key.
because of. Go ahead.
No, that's true in the Caribbean islands too. I went and visited on a cruise, Haiti, and there was a church there from like the 1700s, and it amazed me because they had the I forget the prayer that we Catholics say, you know, your belief in your church and everything. It was on the wall all the way, like from 1700. But outside this small church were these huge caskets. There must have been 40 or 50 of them because of the groundwater.
That's
Right,
exactly it.
and
There's some water tables in
New Orleans
that are the issue, and you can just imagine heavy rains or where the levees don't hold. All of a sudden, the bodies that are buried underground. So that's the reason for the above ground in cement type of encasements.
Gee, I never thought of that. If I'm cremated, I can put all my ashes in and make it a hood ornament and put it on the front of a car.
Here comes Hewie.
That's where my dad is.
Well, my brother is buried in a mausoleum because he doesn't like the idea of being underground.
I don't think he'll know.
Did anyone see does anyone follow golf? Does the big news of on Sunday, Nick Taylor, who it was a Canadian Open, right? And
tackled.
Nick Taylor is a Canadian, right? So he had, I think he was in 2 overtimes, and then he with a British guy, and then he's 3 overtimes. Jonathan's at 3 overtimes, and then he sunk a 60-foot putt, like holy, and the crowd went wild. And it's the first time I think in 60 years a Canadian has won the Canadian Open, which is like a crazy time. So
and then
actually it's 70 years.
Yeah.
And
is it 70 years?
And then he was tackled by a security guard because
no. The guy with the champagne was tackled by the security guard because he was a participant in the golf tournament, but the security guard thought he was an
intruder,
a spectator.
Yeah,
and it was a 27-foot putt, which is still pretty amazing.
A long putt. That's a long putt.
Oh yeah.
Even Nick Taylor said when they interviewed him, he said,
"Oh, it's wonderful."
There was a lot of luck in that putt.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of luck in all of that.
How is that different than somebody getting a hole in one at 300 yards or something?
They don't do that in these tournaments.
Yeah.
Or 100 yards, whatever.
Oh yeah. My mom had a hole in one, but she didn't won the Canadian Open.
Yeah, and they don't choose par 3s for the playoff for the playoff holes. They don't do par 3s. Because probably if they included a par 3,
I'm sure they could.
It's a possibility, but not.
Yeah, those guys are so talented.
Yeah. So.
Oh, the second playoff hole was a par 3.
Right.
That was the 9th hole.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who cares?
Jim, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good. Thank you for asking. It's I just had hip surgery a week ago today.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
So Jim, tell me, has Google sent you a nice kind word of thanks for your 10,000 subscribers?
They sent a couple of notices recognizing that we went 10,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So nothing special. It was nice. And
so you need to get those emails and frame them so you can in your broadcasting. And and so people can see that.
Yeah, Ron, you're locking up.
You're breaking up there.
Chris,
anyway, it was.
I was going to ask, do they send you a little trophy of some sort?
No, not the first you need to get 100,000 before they do any real recognition.
Yep.
So we're a little ways away. But you guys, you're you do some credit to it too. You got to help get us here. Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll be around for your 100,000.
I hope so. It shouldn't be more than a couple of months now.
There you go.
No, we're yeah, it's weird, because it's a area that very few people make, but then there's a lot of others who work at it. I mean, we never got into this to make a lot of subscriptions, and we, it wasn't our focus for making money either. We have our membership for that, and our membership started before the YouTube stuff. So a lot of people today who are just getting into it are starting out with the idea that they're going to use YouTube, and they can do it if but it's a job and you have to work at it. Ours was just organic over a long period of time. So there's different ways of getting here.
Yeah, you guys probably have more momentum now than we do. How many subscribers per month are you gaining?
Well, we're just turned 6,000, but we're
Yeah.
like I've been doing a lot of shorts, and man, we've got 50, 60 people in the last 3 days. So
Wow.
there's something ticking along, and
Wow.
and so we're in an upswing. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even my channel, I'm only at 800 and something, but that's still a lot.
How long have you had yours, Hewie?
Quite a few years.
Yeah. See, people who have been there doing it for a long time don't get as much new traction the way. And Ron, how long is your YouTube?
Well, just Tech for Senior, really.
Yeah.
That's really, which has been 3 years.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
you're a newbie at this, and
2,000 a year, you're going to get
right. You'll be there in no time.
Yeah.
I predict probably another year and a half we'll be at 10,000.
Okay. I say a year, but okay.
We'll see.
Maybe two. Maybe two. I mean, it
Maybe-
depends on how hard you work.
That's true. You're working harder than we are.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You do a lot more. You're doing all
But
this.
it's really odd. There was a time, not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, on December 25th, the subscribers doubled in 24 hours. Now, YouTube even sent me a note saying, "Congratulations. We don't know what you did, but wow, you sure did a good job." I have no idea what I did either. And after
But do it
a couple of
again.
days, I had no
Tell
idea
us what you did.
we didn't do anything, and then it trickled down over the next couple of weeks, back to the usual progress that we did. And it baffles me today how that happened. And then I waited last Christmas. I thought, well, maybe it's going to happen again. Nah, it didn't. So I have no idea.
Not a second Christmas miracle. Huh?
No,
My security news roundup usually has 25, 30 views.
Yeah.
And then I had 3 weeks in a row where we were 400 views. And they say, what the heck? Is it finally taking off? Now it's back to normal, back to 30.
Yeah, we
What
get
happened?
mentioned.
Who knows?
We have one date, sometime a couple of years ago now, and where there's just one spike, and there's no reason.
Somebody else picked it up and pushed it. 'Cause
Yeah,
I've
we
had
did find that
I-
out once.
yeah. I have
Yeah.
that on one video that's got almost 100,000 views.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. And for what? There was nothing really that I did with that video, but somebody else picked it up and shared it, and they shared it. And that's the way it just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my most viewed video is a review of an item from Amazon.
So it's probably the owner of the item that is sending people that way.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, and I'm probably the only one that did a video on it, on that particular item, and
Yeah, I
so
did it.
I still get comments on it, And it's
I did a
it's few years.
tutorial on Wi-Fi on Windows 10. And that thing has almost 900,000 views. It's just a tutorial. It is not, wasn't something I worked hard on.
Yeah.
It was shared someplace, and that just brought that many viewers. So you never
But
know.
it didn't have another an add-on effect to the other parts of the.
No, nope.
Yeah.
So one of the most popular videos I did was a long time ago. It was a Chromebook video. I did it. It took me 5 minutes on one Sunday afternoon. It wasn't really done that well. And it was how to move an app onto the shelf, right? And it was a little thing I did. And that just has gone crazy. And I think, what in the world is that all about? It's just crazy. Go ahead, Irving.
Good morning, everybody. Seeing you mentioned Chromebooks, I've run into a Chromebook problem. I was wondering if I could, get in on some of your experience. The problem is this is a Chromebook that is not supported anymore, but still works fine, as you and Hewie have often commented. This Chromebook is working with one exception, and that exception is that it won't connect the email program. Now, being in Canada, I've got Rogers email, and we contacted Rogers, and they said it's the computer's fault. But the problem is the computer connects to everything else except the email. So how could it be the computer's fault? Anybody got any experience or help?
What's the email that it's coming to? Is it a Gmail account? Is it a personal account you have through somebody?
Oh, the Rogers account, it's coming through Rogers in Canada.
Okay, so it's like at rogers.com or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Rogers uses Yahoo.
Okay, so it's a
So
Yahoo. Well, what's happened is a lot of the email services have changed the way they protect you. And I'm having an issue. I use a program called Mailwasher on my PC, and I can't get my own Hewie at Hewie.net because it's a GoDaddy email account, and it's been 3 weeks that their engineers are trying to solve the problem. Because this all happened at one time when they changed the way email is being handled, and all the Gmail accounts too have changed. And if you're using some third-party program, sometimes you have to get a special it all has to do with the two-factor authentication.
So Irving, if you go into the Rogers web portal, all right, you go to www.rogers.ca and you say check email and you go in through the web. You mean to tell me you can't do that?
Well,
see, Rogers will have a web portal. There'll be a web portal where you just go there, sign into your Rogers account, and you should be able to see your email there, right? Because you're looking at right on the right in this. So that's how I would solve it in the short term. I just go to their web portal and your email should all be there.
Tell me, is another option to because this Chromebook doesn't have very much on it, would another option be to clear it completely and then
you could try that. You could try that, but I don't think I agree with Hewie. I don't think that's your problem. I don't think it has anything to do with the Chromebook. I think it has to do with the Rogers email and the other thing you could do is, and this may solve your problem, is open a Gmail account and then just have your Rogers email ported into your Gmail. It's really easy to do, and you can have it ported into your Gmail and look at your Rogers email through Gmail, right? That you could do that, and that may solve the problem. But all you have to do is just create an icon on your, on your Chromebook. Just do an icon and have it bookmarked for the web portal. And so you just check your email in the Rogers. You just go to www.rogers.ca and sign in, right? And it'll say email, boom, hit the email, and there's your email, right?
Someone just posted the link to the email for
Right, so
Rogers.
it's in there, yeah. So just click that and it'll take you right to it. And I just create a shortcut
Shortcut on the desktop. Yep.
yeah, on your and put it on the
Mhm.
shelf, and every time you want to do it, just click the button. That's all I would do.
Well, thank you very, very much for the input.
Take,
Yeah, 'cause
take
they'll
a
take
look
it to
at,
your Chromebook.
take a look at the chat.
I
Yeah,
will.
it's in the
Thank
chat.
you.
The link's in the chat.
Okay.
So if you're new here, if you're just wondering what's happening, we're just having a little bit of a social before the meeting, which is going to start in about what time is it? Another 10 minutes. So we'll and if you have any questions, if you're new here, we sure like to say hello to you. Just put up your hand and we can say hi. If you have any questions, anything that you have seen in the newsletter or anything on our shows you want to comment about, just put your hand up. And as I always say, I'm happy to take all the praise, any criticism. Hewie's in that department, so you can sort that out and yeah, so that otherwise we'll be getting going shortly.
Thank you.
I forgot to mention that email account can be picked up on a laptop. It can be picked up on a different Chromebook, but it couldn't be picked up on that particular Chromebook that I'm talking about.
It's still a setting, an email setting.
It's still,
Right.
yeah, I'm going to do what you recommended. I'm going to go to that portal. Yeah, thank you.
Just get it through the web portal. Drew, go ahead.
Yes, Microsoft has released into the beta channel an update for the Windows 11 Android subsystem that's going to, for the first time in 2 years, allow files to be transferred back and forth between the Android and Windows. It's been completely isolated for the last 2 years. So if you loaded a program on your computer, you had no way of taking a photo from Windows and putting it into Android unless you did it over the cloud. They just announced in the preview edition of Windows that in sometime in the not too distant future, we'll all be able to copy files back and forth through the two file systems natively inside of Windows somehow. So if you load a photo editing program for Android, you can actually edit your Windows photos. Haven't been able to do that for the last couple of years.
Great. Actually, you sent me a note on that. I was going to do it, and it looked awful complicated. So maybe this is a little Drew 10-minute. Drew could do a demonstration for our show.
Sure.
That might be a fun thing to put on our show coming up sometime. Would you be willing to do that, Drew?
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay. That might work, and that'd be fun to look and see how it works. Helen, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question for Drew. I use Samsung Help with my Android phone and my Galaxy Watch.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put it on the computer. Will
No.
I be able to do that then?
If you install, you can probably install the. You'd have to be able to get it's not going to be in the Google Play App Store, or it might be. I'd have to let me think about it for a second and get back to you, Helen.
Okay. The other question, which fits with this, but not what you were talking about really. All of a sudden, my phone quit giving me any information on my sleep. It was giving me a whole picture of how I'd slept. It quit doing that. Now I can get my blood oxygen level, and that's it. Why did it quit?
Oh, that's so, Helen. That happens to me all the time. Are you using what are you using as a watch? What?
Galaxy 4, I think.
Okay, it's the Bluetooth. It's just the Bluetooth connection. Does it correct itself yet?
No.
Yeah, but you might turn off the Bluetooth and turn it back on. It's just not connecting.
Okay,
That's-
I'll give
It's
that
just
a
not
try.
connecting. Yeah, it's just not
Thank you.
connecting. The two have to talk, right? They have to talk.
Yes, yes.
And sometimes it does and sometimes it does. It's
Yeah,
Bluetooth.
and it does give me it didn't quit the blood oxygen, but it quit everything else.
Yeah, I have a Fitbit and the same thing happens. And so it's some.
So I
it's-
just turn off the Wi-Fi on it and then turn it back
Yeah.
on?
Yeah,
Bluetooth.
Okay.
Bluetooth, not
okay,
one, just turn
Bluetooth.
off Bluetooth and have it
Turn it off and then
reconnect.
turn it back on. Okay,
Yeah, and have it
I'll give that,
reconnected.
that would be wonderful. But
And
it
that's
would
the
be
only-
even
that's-
more wonderful if I could get it up where I could really see it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can get the Samsung Health onto my Windows machine.
Okay, that would be wonderful. I'd love to be able to get up there and really play with it. Thank you.
Ron?
Bye-bye.
Ron,
Did
check the
someone
time.
just let in somebody with just the name of iPhone? Because I've had them in the waiting room, waiting for identification.
I did not.
Somebody did.
Not me.
Not me.
Put them back in the waiting room.
If you do have, Hewie did get Zoom bombed on Sunday.
Yesterday.
So we are sort of cautious on, so if you are in there, help to identify yourself. If you can put your name so we know who you are. iPhone doesn't help. All right, we're going to get going because we have a big show for you today. I'm going to mute everyone and then we are going to start. There we go. Welcome. I'm Ron Brown and I'll be your host today. This is Tech for Senior. It is episode, Hewie, 167. There you go.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. That means we're getting older, right?
Absolutely.
Anyway, it is June the 12th, 2023. We'll be with you for the next hour and hope to have a great time. We have a big show for you. After the show, of course, we have our Q&A period. We'll be going through the topics today on the show. Will be Bob will be doing the security news update. I'm going to talk about home delivery services and particularly DoorDash. Huey's going to talk, of course, about Chat GPT. Bob's going to talk about Adobe Firefly, the new beta version, and Ray, of course, is going to thrill us with his toe tapping music. And then for our premiere video, which we'll be having, and I'll put the link in the show notes or in the chat for you. But those of you, of course, who have subscribed to our Saturday newsletter will know that Bill James, of course, is going to be doing Windows tips. Huey's going to talk about hacking, but is really your responsibility and how that affects you. And Mike Ungerman, of course, is going to do a repeat of his very popular part one, solar panels for home powering your home with solar energy, and that will be, of course, in our premiere video that'll be coming on at 1:30. We do tape this, and we will be taping and it will be available later on our website. We have we also, those of you who saw the schedule for our premiere in the newsletter, you'll notice that this week I always highlight on our Saturday episode popular, interesting YouTube website that I found. And for those of you who are, this is really interesting. Those of you who are history buffs will have saw in there. It's called the History Squad, and it's by a fellow by the name of Kevin Hicks, who is a really interesting historian, and talks about all sorts of things that happened around medieval castles, how they worked, and the battlefields in 1300, and he even goes into 1300 battlefield medicine and how they did on surgery in the battlefield, and he talks about all sorts of things like that. He has props and he dresses up, and it's really interesting. So if you are interested in history, the link's in our Saturday newspaper, and I would encourage you to have a look at that. We also, of course, have our Tech for Senior live show, and last week we talked about all the Apple releases at the Worldwide Development Conference. So if you are interested in coming and listening to our Thursday show, just remember, we always get people logging in the Zoom meeting, but it's not a Zoom meeting, right? So just go to our website. There's a big red button that says "Take me to the show," and it'll take you there. We broadcast it out to either our Facebook page or, of course, our YouTube channel. So that's it. Hewie. Oh, and the big news is this time next week, I'll be doing my grandpa duties. My daughter is arriving, and we haven't seen her for 3 years, with husband and grandson and Patches the dog. So I'll be doing grandpa duty for the next 2 weeks. So I won't be here, and Hewie is going to take the reins for the next couple of weeks. But he's been practicing and doing a pretty good job, right, Hewie?
I hope so.
Yeah, you have
Big,
lots.
I got big shoes to fill, though.
I'm sure you'll do just fine.
And I'm the Ed McMahon to Johnny Carson.
Exactly. You'll do great. You've done 3 or 4 shows now. It'll be fine. And so he's going to be the host for the next couple of weeks. We will still be having the Thursday show, and I will be there for that. So
don't forget to put the link for premiere service in the.
Yeah, I'll put it in, Marie. I'll put it in. Yeah, no problem. Hewie, how was you had a bit of a scare there yesterday on that'd add some excitement to the show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't in the WinSig part. It was in the CFCS part, but I'm trying to do some things to make it so it doesn't happen. But somebody signed in at the last minute and then just Zoom bombed us with a tirade, which was both Bob and I reacted really quickly and got him out of there and blocked him.
Yeah. So it is hard. We haven't had a problem since the second episode that we did. That's because, of course, Bob's on his toes and keeps us safe. But it is helpful when you log in, if you do put your name in as when you come in, because we don't know who an iPhone is. We need to know what your name is, and then at least we know who you are. So that's helpful. All right, Bob, how'd your week go?
Very well. A couple of things. That person named iPhone, I just simply said goodbye to him. That was the end of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Better safe than sorry.
Right.
In today's episode, Tech for Senior, yeah. The Security News Roundup, there's an article or an mention in there about senior moment. Side loading of programs on your phone and on your tablets, which is a dangerous thing to do. And on Tuesday's newsletter, I have an article in there that'll tell you just exactly why side loading is something you need to avoid. But you'll find out today that there have been lots of people that have gotten in problems with their phones because I want it for free. This sounds good. It's not on the store, so I get it a different way. Not always a smart move to make.
Thanks for the information. We'll look forward to that in the Tuesday newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, we do produce that twice a week on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And it's a communication tool which we can tell you what we're doing. We put the agendas for the different meetings and what we're going to talk about in there, as well as some very interesting articles. So you make sure you subscribe to that. And again, you can do that at www.techforsenior.com. Ray, is Carol still having lots of fun? She had a good time on the meeting. Is she's talking up Tech for Senior, or what's happening with Carol?
Absolutely. She really enjoyed it. Liked a lot of the commentary and feedback that she got. So that worked out really well. You know, Ron, you mentioned before my toe tapping music. Well, today, in addition to some music, I'm going to have a little bit of a comedy clip. So you want to stay tuned.
Laughter. Some laughter. That'll be good. Yeah, that'll be great. Bill James, what have you got? You're not going to tell us what your gadget for tomorrow is going to be, are you?
No, I'm not.
All right. Is it something I can afford, or is this going to be?
Well, it depends. We'll see.
All
Depends
right,
on what your budget is.
I like the popcorn popper one. That was really an affordable. That was a good one.
Yes,
So,
I'm using mine, and I've started using the butter and the salt. Didn't know you could do that, and it works fine.
it works great. Yeah, and throw it in the dishwasher too. Works great. That's
Yeah,
good.
I tried using the butter and I was not happy with it. I've gone back to using a bowl and putting butter on it in the bowl.
You got to put more butter. The more butter you put in there, the better it is.
Ron, you're the only doctor I know that encourages more butter and salt.
Butter and salt, good for you. All right, Bob, are you ready to roll?
I am, if you guys are.
Yeah, we got to stop talking and going.
Here is my security news roundup for the week ending June 9th, 2023. Microsoft expects to pay $425 million fine for LinkedIn privacy violations. Microsoft expects to pay a $425 million fine over alleged privacy violations by LinkedIn. The Irish Data Protection Commission is currently investigating LinkedIn's actions in 2018. The investigation centers around if LinkedIn's targeted advertising practices violated European data protection law. Since the order is not public, we don't have any specifics regarding the allegations. Targeted advertising is one focus of the European Union at the moment, as it relies heavily on people's data. These fines are also a great income generator. Read more at windowscentral.com. Magento, WooCommerce, WordPress, and Shopify exploited in web skimmer attack. Cybersecurity researchers have unearthed a new ongoing Magento-style web skimmer campaign that's designed to steal personally identifiable information and credit card data from e-commerce websites. A noteworthy aspect that sets it apart from other Magento campaigns is that the hijacked sites further serve as makeshift command and control servers, using the cover to facilitate the distribution of malicious code without the knowledge of the victim sites. Web security company Akamai said it identified victims of varying sizes in North America, Latin America, and Europe, potentially putting the personal data of thousands of site visitors at risk of being harvested and sold for illicit profits. Read more at thehackernews.com. Amazon's Ring cameras were used to spy on customers. Every single Amazon Ring employee was able to access every single customer video, even when it wasn't necessary for their jobs. Not only that, but the employees, along with workers from a third-party contractor in Ukraine, could also download any of those videos and then save and share them as they liked before July 2017. That's what the FTC has alleged in a recent complaint from which Amazon is facing a settlement of $5.8 million. And unsurprisingly, some employees abused that access right. Read more at malwarebytes.com. U.S. hospital forced to divert ambulances after cyber attack. The Idaho Falls Community Hospital fell victim to a cyber attack on Monday, May 29th, 2023. As a result, the hospital had to divert ambulances to other nearby hospitals and close some of its clinics. The hospital is keeping the public updated through its website and Facebook page. According to the initial statement, the hospital's IT team identified the attack quickly and took immediate action to limit the impacts and keep all patients' information safe and secure. While the exact nature of the cyber attack is unknown at this point, and the hospital calls it a virus, it is more likely that it is dealing with a ransomware attack. Read more at malwarebytes.com. 0-day alert. Google issues patch for new Chrome vulnerability. Update now. Google last Monday released security updates to patch a high-severity flaw in its Chrome web browser that it said is being actively exploited in the wild. Type confusion in version 8 of Google Chrome prior to 114.0.5735.110 allowed a remote attacker to potentially exploit heap corruption via a crafted HTML page, according to its NIST's National Vulnerability Database. Google, as is typically the case, did not disclose details of the nature of the attacks, but noted it's aware that an exploit for CVE 2023-3079 exists in the wild. Google has addressed a total of 3 actively exploited 0 days in Chrome since the start of the year. Update now. Read more at thehackernews.com. Over 60,000 adware apps posing as cracked versions of popular apps target Android devices. Thousands of adware apps for Android have been found to masquerade as cracks or mudded versions of popular applications to serve unwanted ads to users as part of a campaign ongoing since October 2022. The campaign is designed to aggressively push adware to Android devices with the purpose to drive revenue, Bitdefender said in a technical report shared with the Hacker News. However, the threat actors involved can easily switch tactics to redirect users to other types of malware, such as banking Trojans, to steal credentials and financial information or ransomware. Read more at thehackernews.com. New York City latest to sue Hyundai and Kia, claiming their cars are too easy to steal. Hyundai and Kia cars were stolen 977 times in New York City in the first 4 months of 2023, and authorities have had enough. The startling figure was rolled out as the Big Apple filed suit against the company's U.S. subsidiaries, both owned by Hyundai Motor Company, alleging that their failure to implement modern security controls has created a public nuisance. The lawsuit argues that while the days of hot wiring cars with nothing more than a screwdriver are largely over, thanks to immobilizer devices tied to radio-equipped key fobs, there are 2 major outliers. In my humble opinion, the mayor needs to go after the criminals that commit the theft, although the payout may not be as lucrative. Read more on theregister.com. This week's must-see on my YouTube channel. Milford is a historic town in the beautiful Pocono Mountains. This is also the last town we'll explore in PA. In the next episode, we'll start exploring New Jersey, with Princeton, New Jersey as our first stop. Please watch my video on that topic at the link listed. Did you know? On June 26, 2009, Twitter, Wikipedia, and AOL Instant Messenger all crashed at 3:15 p.m. when news broke of Michael Jackson's death. In 1999, Google co-founder Larry Page wanted to sell his fledgling company to Excite for around $750,000. Excite declined. Today, Google is worth around $2 trillion. You can tell more about a person by what he says about others than you can by what others say about him. Thanks to Audrey Hepburn. Just thought you'd want to know. And that's a wrap for another week of my Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. I was just thinking, I was introduced Ray as the nicest man you'll ever meet, right? So according to Audrey Hepburn, that's the right approach, right?
It's correct.
All right, let's get on with it. I have home delivery. Let's see what we can talk about that.
Here's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we make videos to help seniors understand technology and stay in their home longer. Today I want to talk to you about home delivery services. Have you ever used one? Do you know anything about it? Well, I just used DoorDash this week, and I wanted to tell you all about it and some of the advantages I think seniors can have with home delivery services. Now, I've actually made videos about this before. The last one I reviewed was Instacart at Costco, and I made a video, and you'll find it up here, called Controversy at Costco. But today I want to tell you about a news article we discussed on Tech for Senior Live on our Thursday show. And this was an announcement in Canada that DoorDash was developing a partnership with Amazon. Now, DoorDash is a home delivery service, which we'll talk about in a minute. And they have two options when you sign up. You can sign up for a free account in which you pay for the services when you use them, or they have a Prime or Pro account, if you can call it, for $120 a year, and you don't have to pay anything. It's all included. So DoorDash and Amazon Prime in Canada just announced a partnership. Yes, a partnership. And if you have Amazon Prime in Canada, currently, as of last week, you will now have the DoorDash Prime feature included in your Amazon Prime account. What does this mean? Well, if you had a DoorDash Prime account, you'd be paying $120 plus your fee for your Amazon Prime membership. But now, because of the promotion, you're able to get your Prime DoorDash account as part of your Amazon membership. So it's free, and it's a great feature. If you do live in Canada and you have Amazon Prime, you get this great feature. Now, in the United States, they have a relationship with Grubhub. Similar feature, and currently they have a promotion on, and you actually get 2 years or $256 value with Grubhub that you use through your Amazon Prime account. So these are added features to your Amazon account that you should know about because they're free and you might as well use them. And I did. And I used DoorDash Thursday, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So let's look at the advantages of using DoorDash for senior citizens. Well, senior citizens may have problems with mobility or transportation, and this saves the effort of cooking or going out to eat. You know, when I was a practicing physician, we had a thing called Meals on Wheels. This is where the hospital would create some meals and volunteers would take it out to seniors who had problems with mobility or transportation. I never thought that food was that good. Now with DoorDash, most of the major restaurants in our area all participate in the DoorDash system. It is a big win for restaurants. I think that it helps them sell more food, and it's certainly convenient for seniors because you now have a wide range of different types of food that you can order to keep you in your own home when you really don't feel like cooking. DoorDash makes it very easy to do online ordering. I'll show you that in a minute. And also it has a no contact option for you, so you don't have to see the person who delivers your food. All the transactions occur online, and it just shows up with the ring of a doorbell. So let me show you how it works. Now, we will be talking today about DoorDash because I live in Canada. I live on the West Coast on Vancouver Island in a community of about 80,000 people. We have a lot of very good restaurants, and most of them do participate in DoorDash. Is this a worthwhile service that seniors should be using? I'm going to say maybe, and let me explain that in this video. So how do you start out with your DoorDash account? Well, of course, you can do it as a mobile app on your phone, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Primarily today, we're going to talk about establishing your account through a PC or laptop, doing it on the web. So first of all, you want to go to just go to DoorDash's website, and you want to create an account if you don't have one. In the process of the account creation, they're going to ask you if you have an Amazon Prime account, and you'll say, yes, I do, and it will link the two up. So now when you type in DoorDash on your computer in the search function, it'll automatically take you into your Amazon account, and you'll be ordering DoorDash through your Amazon account as it is in this window. You'll see here at the top, I'm in my Amazon account. I just typed DoorDash into the browser and put me right here to the order menu within my Amazon account. And that's how you'll be doing most of your ordering. Now, as you see in the next menu, we've got some deals. And that's the other thing about the DoorDash Prime version, is that they have a whole bunch of promotions all year round, and they're going to give you lots of these promotions, and you can save a lot of money. And on this particular one, it says that you'll save 50% on each order over $15, and you get that 3 times on this promotion. So this is going to pay for your Amazon Prime membership very quickly. I'll show you how this works. Anyway, you want to take advantages of these specials because it's great. I'll show you how it worked out today. So the order I'm going to show you today is from Manvero's restaurant locally. This is a restaurant that's been in our valley for many years. It's an Indian restaurant. We know the people that own the restaurant, and it is a great place to eat. They have very authentic East Indian food with unique spices brought over from India to create this unique taste. Both my wife and I do most of our cooking at home. We're both amateur chefs, and we have lots of fun cooking. So we don't eat out very much, but we do enjoy Manvero's, and I often order takeout online. I go down, pick it up. I'm usually standing in a line with the DoorDash people because so many people use that service with this restaurant. Anyway, we enjoy that, so I decided to use DoorDash with Manvero's as my very first order in this service. So let me show you how that works. All right, we're now at my Chrome browser. We're going to type in DoorDash in the search here. Let's do DoorDash. And if you see here, this is now going to take me directly into my Amazon account, even though I just typed DoorDash in the Google search engine. So here it takes me right into my Amazon Prime account, and we are going to use DoorDash, and we're going to click the order now. Now this takes me into DoorDash. You'll see that, of course, it is my account. This is my account here, and it has my address. And we are going to do delivery, of course, it defaults to. But the thing I'd like you to notice at the top here is that you have your choice of grocery, convenience, or retail. So not only is it for restaurants, but you can also do grocery shopping, convenience, retail. Again, this would change a little bit depending on the location you're in and what services are offered in your area. Now, as you come down here, you'll see my saved store because I've already ordered with Manveros. I put a little heart here and it saved it, so it's ready for me when I want to order. But let's look at the options that we have. We have a lot of restaurants, pizza, burgers, chicken, Mexican, fast food. Let's see what's available in fast food. So you can have, we have Popeyes here now. Did you know that? We have Popeyes in Comox. So there you go. You can get Popeyes, McDonald's, even a food truck. Can you believe that? Wendy's, A&W, KFC, Dairy Queen. All of these are all available in the fast food section. Now, before we go to ordering my dinner at Manveros, I want to draw your attention to the top here under groceries. Because if you are a senior, you're having trouble getting groceries, this may be an option for shopping. Let's click groceries and see where we go here. Now, you'll see what we have here for grocery stores. And one of the big supermarkets we have in this area is called the Real Canadian Superstore, and it is an option now with DoorDash, so you can have actually DoorDash do your grocery shopping. If you click this, you'll see now that we are in the Real Canadian Superstore, and we have a wide variety of products that you can order. I'm not going to go through the whole menu, but if you want some steak tonight or whatever food you want, you can order it through DoorDash as well. So it works as a grocery shopping service for you. We're going to use it tonight to order my dinner from Manveros, but you could use it for shopping for your groceries. By the way, that steak looks really good. Wow. Well, no, we're going to have Indian food tonight. So here is Manveros in DoorDash. The prices of the food are exactly the same as they are on Manveros website. I eat there a lot, so I know that these are not marked up prices. These are the exact prices that you would pay if you ate at the restaurant. Now, on here, you'll see that there is a $2.99 delivery fee. That you'll find out that this, of course, is waived because you have the DoorDash Prime account, which is included in your Amazon account. So if we come over here, you'll see what I've actually ordered, and you'll see what you've ordered previously, and you can come down, and they pretty much have the full menu is on here. You've got appetizers, and I'm not going to go through all this, but you have a wide variety of choices. When you order it, you can choose your spice level, mild, medium, or hot, any sides you want, recommended sides, and you can just add that to the cart. But I'm going to show you what I ordered, and you'll get the idea pretty quick how this works. This is the order we've placed now. If you look over on the right-hand side, you'll see the 4 items that I've ordered in my cart. The first one is butter chicken, garlic naan, etc. And we're now going to go up to the checkout list. So this is the checkout order form, and let's go over this because this is really where the important part of the transaction occurs. This is where you pay, and let's look at the fees and costs associated with that. If we come up at the top, you'll see it says delivery. So we are not picking this up. It'll be a delivery. You could, I guess, pick this up and get the credit that we were going to get, but I want it delivered. It's a standard delivery time. You can schedule it for later. From the time that I ordered this to the time it was delivered to my door, I would say is about 20 minutes, not the 30 to 45 minutes. This is a very average time based on, I guess, local conditions. It gives my address that it's going to, and I have it set to leave at my door. I have a non-contact delivery, so I don't want to particularly have anything to do with the people delivering this. And again, you can change that if you want, but I would suggest you just leave it at my door. It gives a phone number. In my case, when I don't know if it was because it was my first order with DoorDash, but they did send me a text message with a code that I had to put in to complete the order. This is like 2-step verification, and I'm not sure if that will happen every time. I guess, and also there's an option to send it as a gift if you want. Now, coming down to payment details, well, of course, you have to pay. You have your choice of credit card, debit card, or PayPal. I don't know why PayPal wouldn't work. That was my first choice was to pay it with PayPal. I'm not sure if it was because I was getting a discount on the delivery or it was my first order, but I could not get the PayPal option to work. It worked fine with my credit card, put the credit card information in, and it worked just fine. If you come up here, this was just, they were commenting to add a payment service, which was my credit card. Place the order. Once that is completed, you simply place the order and it goes through and you get a confirmation email. Now coming down, you'll see the promo code that I put in was called Prime, Prime. I put the promo code in. Now if you look down, you'll see that the discount I got was $16 off the order. So just for using DoorDash, I saved $16 off the order, which is a great promotion and something that I got for free. Now then, if you come down, you'll see, of course, below the subtotal of $62.96 is the delivery fee, which you don't pay since you have DoorDash Prime. You then come down to fees and estimated tax. Well, in British Columbia, you have the GST and PST tax, which of course is 12%. If you take 12% of $63, you come out with $8. So $8 of the fees and estimated tax leave about a $2.50 administrative charge that goes to DoorDash. So yes, you do pay that, but the delivery fee is waived. You come down then and you'll see that the Dasher tip is there. You're assigned a Dasher who's going to be the person delivering your food. You can choose whether you want a 10%, 12%, 18%, however you want to tip. I left 12%. That's really up to you. If you choose the other option, you'll see that you have the opportunity to put whatever you want in there. And if you didn't want to leave a tip, you could just put $0.00. You then hit total and place the order, and that's it. The next thing you'll get is an email that says your food has been delivered, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So I placed the order in my office, went upstairs, put some rice on the stove, then sat down in my lazy boy chair to read the newspaper. I got through the first page and got this email saying your no contact order was dropped off. It was there on my front doorstep. Took about 20 minutes. We had a great dinner, as we usually do when we order takeout from Nanveros. So what was my impression of DoorDash? Well, I think that it worked great. It cost me $2.50. The delivery fee was waived, but if you take the tax off, the administration fee was, I think, very reasonable. The tip I would have given to the restaurant, but DoorDash got that. And again, that's variable. You can decide what you want. If you have an Amazon Prime membership, then of course this is included as part of your Amazon Prime membership in Canada. In the United States, it's Grubhub, which works similar to this service. So I think particularly for seniors, if you have problems with mobility or trouble getting to the restaurant, or in fact, if it's just that cold, rainy, miserable night and you don't want to go out, is it worth $2.50 to have the food delivered? And in fact, I did save $16 on the meal because of the promotion. And I think they're going to have lots of promotions through the year. So it probably will easily pay for my Amazon Prime membership. I think it's a good deal in my circumstances. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video as much as I had making it. Remember that like and subscribe. Until we see you again, have a great day.
Okay, Hewie, you're up.
Okay, just give me a second to get things in place. Do this one, there's two actual videos. ChatGPT, a well-known but underused chatbot. I'm Hewie Poplock. ChatGPT, what is it? Well, ChatGPT is an AI-powered chatbot that utilizes natural language processing to converse with users on a variety of topics and provide helpful responses. ChatGPT is an open access online chatbot that allows users to ask questions and request content. It was launched in late 2022 and quickly became the fastest growing web application in history. Despite its popularity, few Americans have actually tried ChatGPT. About 58% of Americans have heard of ChatGPT. This awareness is higher among younger adults, college graduates, and people with higher incomes. Young adults who have heard of ChatGPT are more likely than their older counterparts to have used it. Those 50 to 64, 12% have used it for entertainment, 10 to learn something new, and 8 for tasks at work. 65 and older, 4 have used it for entertainment, 5 to learn something new, and another 4% for tasks at work. This is from the Pew Research Center. Only 14% of Americans have used ChatGPT. Those who have used it most often use it for entertainment or to learn something new. A small number of people have used ChatGPT for work. Those with higher household incomes and more formal education are particularly likely to know about ChatGPT. You can see the numbers there for 50 to 64 and 65 plus. People who have used ChatGPT have mixed opinions about its usefulness. Some people find it to be very useful, while others find it to be only somewhat useful. There is no clear consensus on whether ChatGPT is a valuable tool or not. Again, ChatGPT adult users under 50 are more likely than those 50 and older to say it has been highly useful. ChatGPT is a popular new chatbot, but few Americans have actually tried it. Those who have used it have mixed opinions about its usefulness. Thank you for learning about ChatGPT and how it can enhance your communication experience. Give me a second to get the second video up there to talk a little bit more about ChatGPT. How ChatGPT works. A deep dive into natural language processing. I'm Hewie Poplock. ChatGPT is a conversational AI chatbot created by OpenAI. It's designed to answer questions, provide information, and solve a range of problems and communicate the response back to you in a human-like manner. ChatGPT is trained on a massive amount of data from the internet, including sources like Reddit discussions, to help it learn dialogue and attain a human style of responding. How ChatGPT works. ChatGPT uses natural language processing, or NLP, to understand what people are saying and respond in a way that sounds like a human. When someone asks ChatGPT a question, it breaks down the language input, such as sentences or paragraphs, into smaller components and analyzes their meanings and relationships between words and phrases. It then searches through its memory to find relevant information based on what it has read in the past and uses it to generate a response. ChatGPT doesn't work on a sentence level, but instead it generates text of what words, sentences, and even paragraphs or stanzas could follow. Training ChatGPT. ChatGPT is trained on a massive amount of data from the internet including sources like Reddit discussions, to help it learn dialogue and attain a human style of responding. The creators have used a combination of both supervised learning and reinforcement learning to fine-tune ChatGPT. The reinforcement learning component specifically makes ChatGPT unique using a technique called reinforcement learning from human feedback, or RLHF, which uses human feedback in the training loop to minimize harmful, untruthful, and/or biased outputs. Potential limitations. While ChatGPT can produce coherent and contextually relevant responses, it may not always give accurate answers. It's important to be careful and double-check information when using it. Critics argue that these tools are just very good at putting words into an order that makes sense from a statistical point of view, but they cannot understand the meaning or know whether the statements it makes are correct. Here's a summary. ChatGPT is an advanced chatbot that has the potential to make people's lives easier and to assist with everyday tedious tasks, such as writing an email or having to navigate the web for information. It represents a tremendous leap in the world of AI and NLP. However, it's important to be aware of its potential limitations and use it with caution. Tokenization. The input text is broken down into smaller pieces called tokens. It uses a tokenizer to segment the input text into individual words, phrases, or symbols, and then creates tokens that represent each of these segments. Encoding. The tokens are converted into numerical representations that the neural network can understand. It uses an encoder to convert each token into a vector of numbers that represents its meaning and context. Neural network processing. The encoded input is passed through multiple layers of the transformer neural network to generate a response. The transformer network uses attention mechanisms to analyze the relationships between the input tokens and generate a response that's relevant and appropriate based on its vast knowledge base. Decoding. The numerical representation of the generated response is converted back into text format. It uses a decoder to convert the numerical representations back into human readable text. Response generation. The generated response is returned to the user. It generates a response based on the vast knowledge and analysis of the input query. So it returns a response that is intended to be relevant and helpful to the user. Learning and improvement. The model continuously learns and improves over time through feedback and adjustments to its parameters based on a vast amount of training data. It is trained on a massive data set of text from a variety of sources and is constantly updated with new data to improve its accuracy and relevance. Thanks for watching. I'm Hewie Poplock. The sum of what I just showed you is the fact that a search engine goes out and finds the data that's out there. What ChatGPT and other AI do is it converts everything into numbers and goes out and figures out what should come next. So you might have a word or a couple of words, and then it's going to add on to those words from what it just saw, what it knows, and it keeps adding on in pieces. It doesn't just go out and find it in a big, vast bunch of information.
Huey, Bob, Bob, are you ready to roll?
So I got my letter this morning from Adobe. And as it says, it's time to try out Adobe Firefly. I was on the waiting list, and this morning I received this notice which says you're in. After I selected the link to check out Adobe Firefly, there was some signing in required, and you had to agree to their rules and regulations. But it was fairly simple and straightforward. Once that was all done, this is what I was greeted with, and this is what it looks like. Adobe Firefly Beta. This is the home. There's a gallery. About, which gives you information. And on the facts, you get some information. But once you get your acceptance letter, you can go through this at your own pace. Important thing here is you get to try out these features. Text to image, text effect, and the recolor vectors, that's still coming. So that's something to look forward to. Text to image. Let's go to there. I'll put in something simple. So let's generate. And as you see, it doesn't take long. Actually, pretty darn good. Now, what's selected here is art, and the style is popular. Well, let's take a look and see what it looks like if you select graphic. Still under popular. And there's what comes up with popular. Let's look under photo and see what it generates. Pretty darn good. And when we go to content type and go to none, let's get a little bit more creative. Let's go to movements. You also have something called techniques, effects, material, concept, many, many things to check out on this. But this is just a quick little look. Hopefully you get your invitation soon and start exploring. Nothing better than checking out something new. If you hover on the picture, you actually get to see it close up. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
So Hewie, should we change our logo? I like some of
Whatever.
those.
Yeah, that's well done. And there's several other programs out there too that
that
do
it,
similar
yeah.
things.
That's good, Bob. Yeah. So that's the now that's free. Now that's the beta, which is free. Do you have to own?
You don't have to own anything. You don't have to have Adobe. I don't.
Mhm.
As long as it's beta. I have no clue what will happen. And that goes for any of them. If you start off free, eventually somebody has to pay the piper.
Mhm. All right. Ooh. All right, Ray, before you get to our YouTube group. This is the time in the show where Ray does his music. So we are going to say goodbye to you. If you want to pop over and participate in the Q&A, we're happy to have you. We've got lots of room. But right, and hopefully we'll see you next week, same time, same place. So thank you.